It's officially week one, and while we're all so excited for the start of the NFL season and the 2023 fantasy season, I wanted to share with y'all again the worst possible mistake I have ever made playing Dynasty that has just crushed one of my rosters because I actually did it 2 years in a row, and I don't want you to make the same mistake that I did. So we're going to time travel back to this time last year and let 2022 Addison explain to y'all what that mistake is and how not to fall for the trap. I made this crucial mistake now 2 years in a row in my main Dynasty league, and even though I wasn't hurt by it in those 2 years, I'm now struggling with an almost dead roster with little trade value because of my mistakes. And that mistake is don't make win now trades that compromise your future value under the assumption that you're bettering your odds of winning a championship. Back in 2020, I had a firepower championship level roster, and entering week 10, I was 9-0. I had an 80% all play win percentage, and I had by far the most points for, and it wasn't even close, and I was well on my way to the #1 seed and a first round bye. It was in this week that I decided to push even harder for the championship and trade away straight up a rookie CeeDee Lamb for the ever productive Keenan Allen. Now, a reminder, at this point in the season, Dak Prescott is out for the year with a broken ankle, and CeeDee Lamb went from averaging 15 PPR points per game with Dak Prescott to under 10 points per game without him. Keenan Allen, on the other hand, was just doing Keenan Allen things. He had a surging rookie Justin Herbert. He was receiving double-digit targets every single week, and I thought I was so smart for making this move because right after I made this trade in week 11, Keenan Allen went 16 for 145 and 1 against the New York Jets. So the production was so clearly on the Keenan Allen side over the last half of the year that justified the move to me that if I won the championship, despite knowing I was losing long-term dynasty value with CeeDee Lamb, that it was going to be okay and that move was well worth it. You see, I did win the championship that year, but it was no thanks to Keenan Allen. In fact, Keenan didn't even play in the championship week and actually had to start Jalen Guyton instead. But that's not why this was a mistake. The mistake was actually because Keenan didn't help me at all during the second half of the season in any of my matchups. I actually documented this entire process on Twitter with a lot of other analysts who were interested in how this team played out. But essentially, to summarize it, every single matchup that I played, the difference between Keenan Allen and CeeDee Lamb's production had literally no effect on the final outcome. Every game that I won with Keenan Allen, I would have also won with CeeDee Lamb. And the one game that I lost with Keenan, I would have also lost with CeeDee Lamb. So that was 2020, and I thought I learned my lesson, and I'm never doing that again. And giving up dynasty value for immediate production, nope, never doing that again. Well, fast forward to 2021, same team, same league. Again, we're back in week 10. This time, I'm 6-3, most points for again, first place in the league, on my way to a #1 seed. But this time, I just lost Derrick Henry to a foot injury, out for the remainder of the fantasy season. I'm taking a 0 at that position, and I don't really have any other good backup running back to come in and start and replace Derrick Henry. So I decided to make another trade to push for the championship because this time it was different. This time I actually lost a key part of my roster. So again, 1-for-1 straight up, I traded away Derrick Henry for Darrell Henderson. Now, reminder, Darrell Henderson at this point through the first 9 weeks of the season last year was the RB11 in fantasy. He was averaging 16.5 points per game. And even though he wasn't Derrick Henry, he was still producing RB1 numbers for me at the time. And I was totally fine with making that move. So in my mind, this time was different. This move is actually helping me win a championship this season. It didn't. I came in second. But again, the same thing happened like it did in 2020. And even though that I was replacing an injured player, Darrell Henderson did not change any of the outcomes of my head-to-head matchups the entire second half of the season. And again, he didn't even play in the championship. So it was literally the exact same outcome as what I had just done with CeeDee Lamb and Keenan Allen. Every game that I won with Darrell Henderson, I would have also won had I just taken a 0 from Derrick Henry. And even the games that I lost with Darrell Henderson, I would have also lost had I had Henry and I just played another backup running back on my roster instead. So 2 years in a row now, I made the same mistake, despite what I thought were different circumstances actually weren't. The reason why this is such a crucial mistake is because most dynasty managers don't realize how not impactful a single player is to your starting lineup in 99% of situations. Most head-to-head matchups in fantasy are actually not decided by one start-sit decision. I invite you, go back, look at all of your matchups in one league last year and see how many were decided by single-digit points, or better yet, 5 points or less, to where one player actually would have made a difference for you. The answer is not a lot. It just feels like it happens all the time because we remember those losses more. We feel the sting harder, but we don't really remember all the games that we won by 20 or 30 or 40 fantasy points, right? So actually knowing this fact and learning from my mistakes can make you a better Dynasty player, because you can take advantage of this and maybe be the person on the other end of the deal getting CeeDee Lamb for Keenan Allen in week 10. Because while they think that they're improving their odds of winning a championship, you know it's not really helping them out, and you just improved the value of your own roster. So now here I am prepping for the 2022 season in just a week, and my roster would look way better right now if I had CeeDee Lamb and Derrick Henry on it than Keenan Allen and Darrell Henderson. And yeah, while I won a championship and came in second last year, and my wallet and ego are feeling very happy and everything's good, I hurt myself by actually reducing the odds of winning again this year because of the moves that I made in the past. So there it is, the worst mistake that I have ever made playing Dynasty, and I hope you guys will not make the same mistake that I did. I trust that you won't after watching this video. But hey, we still got to make trades. That's one of the best parts of playing Dynasty. So I have 2 trades that I think you guys should be making right now before the season starts, and you can watch that in this video right up here.